don't touch that dial. It's now time for Dexter Davidson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. If you notice, I just turned off the seatbelt sign. That means you are free to move about the cabin. However, if you choose to remain seated, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened in case we hit some unexpected turbulence. Our estimated time into Washington, D.C. is 6:30 p.m. Thank you.
Well, you look a little distraught today. What's up, young lady? Not speaking today? You look like you in love or something. Talk to her, brother. Oh, you're not talking. What are you thinking about? Say something. Oh, you ain't saying nothing. You look a little stuck up to me. So, what's going on? Speak? You speak? You just don't like me, do you? I'll tell you what, maybe I'll just change my seat. You want me to change my seat? What do you want me to do? I'm just trying to hold a conversation. We got an hour and a half to be together here, and you're not cooperating. Maybe I need to order you a drink. Let me get the flight attendant here real quick.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
Yes, ma'am. I want a drink. Make it a strong one. Well, hello. Let's start again. My name's Bob. I'm a government worker, and I just got fired. I gotta go back, meet my boss, get my termination papers, and I just want to apologize.
Well, Bob, my name is Dr. Siroda Williams, and I'm pleased to meet you. I just happen to have someone special in my life that I think I'm falling in love with. Of course, we're just friends, but sometimes it starts out that way, and then things just kind of happen, and I just can't figure out why. But I think he's just, I don't know, he affects my mind a certain way, and I've studied a lot of people as a doctor. I'm actually a psychiatrist by trade, but presently I'm involved with special assignments that have to deal with the President of the United States. So I am in deep thought right now, and I must apologize for ignoring you, but I can't seem to get my mind off of this man. Somehow I feel something like he may be in danger or something, and I don't know why I left him back there on the East Coast in Atlanta, but I'm still on the East Coast, so I guess I'm not too far away from him, but I would really rather be there with him. And I think it's a sign of danger because it could affect my assignments and things I got going on now, and I won't be able to focus a whole lot. I may have to go back and see him.
Well, again, I just want to say I apologize. I'm just a butthead.
Apology accepted, Mr. Butthead.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to today's mission. You all have been briefed. We're getting ready to do the shuttle takeoff in about 2 hours. So, everybody, I want you to man your stations and be vigilant and check your consoles, triple check your consoles, because we haven't used this shuttle in a while. This is a top secret shuttle that no one knows existed, and we may have to go public with it, but so far we're still going to keep it private. We'll just tell them it's a test flight. So I'd like to solicit any questions at this time. Yes, what do you have?
Sir, is there a part where the mission becomes a little more different from the others, or is the whole mission going to remain the same as far as protocol and whatnot?
Well, the protocol stays the same till we get to section 9C right there in your manual. As soon as we get to that point, then that's when we break away from the orbit, and the orbiter would actually be slingshotted toward the moon. Most people didn't think the orbiter had that capability, but we've outfitted it with some top secret modifications that enables it to go around the moon. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, sir. It does.
Any other questions? Good. All right, let's continue our countdown. Everybody be vigilant. You see anything out of the ordinary, please don't be afraid to holler.
All right, we're gonna have that blower going in the background, right? Okay. All right, we're not gonna worry about that. Kennedy, you online?
Kennedy, check.
How about you, Houston? Houston. Yeah.
Houston, check.
Houston. Yeah. This is General Davidson. We're ready. We're all set here. We're doing our final checks here inside the cockpit. Okay. Hey, Jim. Jim, you okay?
A little nervous.
Hey, Jim, I think I'm going to shut that extra blower down. Yeah, I think that's better.
General, there seems to be a yellow light on gyro number 2.
Can you fix it? See if you can find the cause of that real quick. Can't go out with no yellow lights. Everything's got to be green. You know that, right?
Yes, sir, General. Checking now.
Yeah, Cape. You see a yellow light on gyro number 2? I'm concerned about it.
Roger that, General. We're going to check it out. Just sit tight. Might take us a couple minutes to find out the cause.
Yeah, 10-4. So, how you think this mission's going to go? You think it's going to be pretty good or what?
Well, this being my first mission, I feel pretty confident about it. Did real good in the books anyway.
In the books. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Don't worry about it. I got a lot of experience in these things. I think I can handle just about any type of emergency. The main thing you got to worry about is when the gravity gets funny. You know, it's kind of hard to move your arms around, and G-forces can get a little off the chart. So, of course, we've all been through the centrifuge training, so, hey, I think we're all right. I think we're going to be okay. All right, Houston, how are we coming on that?
Hey, look at that. The light just turned green. I think we're good.
Never mind, Houston. I think we're good. I think we can continue the countdown.
Roger that.
Well, as they say, my friend, fasten your seatbelt. You're in for a hell of a ride.
10, 9, 8, ignition start. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, blast
Booster
off.
ignition and liftoff of Space Shuttle Endeavour on a
And
21st century
away we
mission
go.
placing Earth back on the map.
Roger, roll, Endeavour.
Houston's now controlling. Endeavour rolling on a course northeast away from the Kennedy Space Center toward an orbit that will take it above 95% of the world's population during its mission. Endeavour speed already 300 miles per hour. Altitude 1 mile. Three engines on Endeavour are now throttling back to 2/3 throttle to as the spacecraft prepares to go through the area of maximum aerodynamic pressure and go supersonic.
Endeavor, go at throttle up.
Go at throttle up.
1 minute, 15 seconds since launch. Endeavor's 3 engines now back at full throttle. Endeavor speed 1,400 miles per hour, 11 miles altitude, 8 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center. Endeavor's already burned more than 2.25 million pounds of propellant, weighs less than half of what it did at liftoff.
JoRiginal.com. This is ATL Flow Talk Radio with your host, JoRiginal. 9:30 Rant. This is ATL Flow Talk Radio. I'm JoRiginal, your host, and I'm Uncle Bling. Man, JoRiginal, you know what I want to talk about today. Well, let's guess. Would it have something to do with the economy? How about President Obama? No? Well, must be the Atlanta Snow Storm. Bingo. Man, was that a mess or what? Yes, it was a big mess. As a matter of fact, I don't understand why they made everybody come to work that day. Hey, me neither, man, me neither. It just didn't make no sense. You want to start out? You want me to start out? You can start out. You can start out, because you know what I'm going to say. Well, for all you listeners out there, I just want to let y'all know. The governor made a stupid error of letting everybody come to work on Tuesday when they knew a storm was coming on Tuesday. Now, the sad part about it, if you look at the map, I have a map right here, JoRiginal. I have a map, and it shows right here in telecast.com. Now, what telecast.com does is they'll put a weather radar picture out there in real time. And I looked at the radar that morning, and I saw a big blue and white ball headed toward Atlanta at 6:30 in the morning. And this is around the same time the airport says we're closing at 12 o'clock. Now, if the airport is closing, it seems to me you would say, okay, everybody stay home, everybody stay back, and you would get up. The first thing you do when you get up is look at the news. Now, why didn't the governor look at the news? I don't know. He says he didn't get the word till 9 o'clock. When he got to work. He got to work at 9 o'clock. it was already too late. Hey, true that. Continue, my brother. Yeah, what I don't understand, why would you have everybody come to work and say, as soon as it starts snowing, we're going to let you go home? Well, if you know it's going to snow, leave the people off the road. I mean, the pictures are horrendous. I mean, there are pictures of people stuck in their cars, and the poor semi-drivers, man, they're trying to get through Georgia. You got all these cars in the way. People are running out of gas, man. 24 hours sitting in traffic trying to get home. And then the governor going to turn around and tell them they had to come back to work at 12 o'clock the next day. I'm like, dude, come on now. How stupid can you be? Then he got some brother-in-law of his or whatever on the line, on the air, and he pulled him up next to him. I forgot his name, Charlie Cash or something stupid. And he talking about, well, I heard about it, but I forgot to call the governor and wake him up and say, hey, man, it's going to snow outside. So what you're saying is that they didn't have sense enough to look at the radar themselves. They're waiting on the federal government or the National Weather Service to call it. The National Weather Service lives in D.C. They don't even live down here. Exactly. That's what I don't understand. Here they're waiting on the feds to call it, and the feds live in Washington, D.C. And as a matter of fact, the feds were up at 3:30 in the morning, and that's when they made the call. And they're trying to blame the feds. Oh, well, they didn't. Al Roker said, well, Al Roker said, well, we've been talking about this storm for 2 days. So I looked at the news the night before, and the night before the guy said, well, it's going to be an inch above us, and it's going to be 2 inches below us, but it's not going to hit us. So I look at the map the next morning. I see this big blue and white snowball headed straight for Atlanta. I'm like, what's going on here? Why aren't people taking heed to this big blue snowball? If you see a big blue snowball, don't wait on the government to tell you to duck. You just duck. Yeah, man. Then he gonna try to blame it on Mayor Kasim Reed, and Kasim Reed tell him, hey, dude, I don't even have jurisdiction on the highways. I just cover the city of Atlanta. That's federal and state. That's a federal state highways. Have nothing to do with the city. We don't pave those. We don't clear those. And yet they got him on the news more than they had the governor on there. And most of the people that work in the city don't live in the city. That's another problem. I believe in telecommuting, and a lot of folks don't want to telecommute, but I'm telling you, it could save us a whole lot of hassle if they let more people telecommute. Yeah, dude. In addition to that, why would you let people off work without bringing the public transportation in that dropped them off? A lot of people catch the bus downtown to work, and if you let them off work at 12, the bus don't show up to 3 o'clock, 3:30. You got those people stuck down there to 3:30. It's just crazy all the way over. Then you got folks sleeping in Home Depot. You got them sleeping in the grocery store. I guess if you're sleeping in the grocery store, you ain't got to worry about getting nothing to eat. The food is right there. But they had people covered up. They didn't have no knapsacks or nothing. I even heard they had people at the grocery store sleeping on toilet paper. Well, not loosely knitted toilet paper. They probably left it in the plastic rolls and just laid it out up under folks so they have something to lay their heads on, other than the hard concrete / linoleum floor. And Lord, let's not even start talking about the kids. Yep, true that. They had kids on school buses. They had them sleeping in school, in the gymnasium floor. People that was trying to bring folks food and water. People stuck in traffic, nothing to eat, nowhere to go to the bathroom. Wall-to-wall cars. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, everybody knows we can't deal with the snow down here, so let people stay home. Pay them a day's pay. So what if you make a mistake? It's just going to cost you a day's pay. But one thing they don't talk about on the news is that 2-3 people died that day. Over 130 people, maybe 100 up to 150 people got injured that day. We're just talking about the ones that were checked into the hospitals, not the ones that weren't reported. We had over 2,000 accidents. We had 1,500 that were reported, another 1,000 that were unreported, where people just dinged their cars and left them there and tried to come back. And not only that, the people tried to come back and get their cars, found out their cars were towed, even though they say they weren't going to tow them off the highway. They towed them off the highway for a while, and then right after that, they took them some undisclosed location, took their cars to some undisclosed location, and told them to report to some local school or some local church, and somebody's going to take a bus and take them out to their cars. Well, nobody knows where the cars are. So now we got impound fees and all this, and it's not even the fault of the people. Insurance premiums are going to go up. Stores were running out of goods because of the fact that the governor decided not to close the highway down and not to close down the government and tell people to stay home. So, I mean, truckers, they have to make the call. They have to make the call. But if you got all these cars sitting up there in a big old roadblock, a truck can't even get to the truck stop just to pull over and stop and rest and wait the thing out. So that's the sad part about it. Yeah, let's talk about something else, man. Let's talk about something else. I'm getting upset again. True that. True that. Well, let me check my little browser and see what we got here. I've been trying to hang out with Snopes, but they keep throwing these ads up. You can't even read the text behind the ads. Now, that's ridiculous. But it says right here, a teacher's ad hoc class assignment is kept and treasured by her students. Now, this is actually true. And it says right here that an inspirational tale of a teacher who made a difference and its unnecessarily explanatory coda can be found on hundreds of websites all over the internet. Sister Helen Marosla, a Franciscan nun, submitted All the Good Things to Proteus, a journal of ideas, in 1991. Her article also reappeared in Reader's Digest the same year. It says Sister Marosla first met Mark Euland in her third grade classroom at St. Mary's School in Morris, Minnesota in 1959, and she encouraged him again in 1965 when she served as his junior high school math teacher. In April 1971, Mark was sent to Vietnam and assigned to the 585th Transportation Company in Phu Bai, where he worked in a truck parts depot, and he kept in touch with his family and friends through Sister Marosla. Through letters. In August 1971, as she was returning from vacation, Sister Marosla learned of Mark's death from her parents. Although he died in Vietnam, Mark Eklund was not killed in combat. He died in his sleep of pulmonary and cerebral edema. Well, that's interesting. So they kept in touch throughout the years. And it said, although Sister Marosla indicated she was happy that the circulation of her article on the internet had brought Mark's story to a global audience, she was less than pleased that it had turned into a chain letter promising good luck to recipients who passed it on. It cheapens it somehow, she said. So the letter actually went viral. Man, it must be very inspirational. Hey, how about this story right here? It says, during his first day as a writer for Disney Studios, Harlan Ellison was fired for jokingly suggesting a porn Disney flick be made. This is actually a true story. They got a picture of this guy in here too. A few hours after arriving for his first day of work at Disney Studios, Ellison and several fellow writers head off to the studio commissary for lunch. Once Ellison jokingly suggested they do a Disney porn flick and proceeded to act out the parts while imitating the voices of several animated Disney characters. Unbeknownst to him, Roy Disney and the other studio execs were sitting adjacent to his table. Ellison claims that he returned to his office to find a pink slip on his desk and the name of his parking space has been whited out. He recounted his incident in his book Stalking the Nightmare as part 3 of a section entitled The 3 Most Important Things in My Life. It was updated in 2007. Man, a Disney porn flick. Okay, now I've heard about the elf that had the erection in the movie. You heard about that, right? You know what? I actually did see that on YouTube. Dude, I mean, it was kind of gross to see. There's also rumors and examples on YouTube where they had porn images and The Lion King and subliminal messages. It's so many of those cartoons, man. And the sad part about it, I used to watch those cartoons when I was a kid. All the Disney stuff, Mickey Mouse. Oh, man. Speaking of Mickey Mouse, they even got mad at some daycare that had pictures of Mickey Mouse and Goofy and stuff like that on the wall. And that's what I don't understand about it. They had Minnie Mouse, they had Mickey Mouse, and several others on there. And Disney demanded that the unauthorized 5-foot-high painted figures of Disney characters on the walls of very important Babe's daycare, Good Godmother daycare, and Temper Messianique of Hannibal, Florida, said he want all those characters removed for valid business reasons. Infringements must be fought in order to keep trademarks intact. So Disney will sue you, especially over the mouse. If you come out with 3 circles, 2 little circles and a big circle, they will sue you for that because they have a copyright on that. And, you know, they got Jay-Z, right? Copyright the color blue. So I guess you can't paint your car blue anymore, huh? I don't know if there's any truth to that rumor, but I did hear that there is a color such as Jay-Z blue. And he even named his child blue. So I don't know what this man got with blue, but hey, he didn't want to get the blues, so he just go ahead and pick up blue. Then that way, if somebody gets the blues, they have to pay him royalties. I don't know. It's just all stupid. It's just stupid. When it gets to that point where they start copyrighting colors and what have you, I just have issues with that. I really do. Well, it looks like that's about all I have on my plate for today. How about you? You got anything else over there? Nope. Well, Uncle Bling, that's about all I got. I think we're gonna need to find another website. That's what we're gonna have to do. Snopes ain't getting it. Snopes.com, they got too many ads blocking up the thing, and I don't know. Can you find anything else on there? If not, we're gonna move on from that one and find another one for next time. Well, how about this one? Elvis Presley's backup singers walked out on the concert after he remarked that their breath smelled like catfish. This is actually true. The infamous catfish incident that resulted in several Presley's backup singers walking off stage in the middle of a concert was not merely a matter of their taking offense to a racist remark, but a reaction to the singer's increasingly bizarre behavior. And y'all know what happened with him. He ended up dying on the toilet seat. So we're going to roll on from that. What do you think? Yeah, it's good to lead the show on a controversial note. Hey, write in if you guys feel one way or another. Other than that, we're rolling out. This is ATL Flow Talk Radio. I'm JoRiginal, and I'm Uncle Joe Bling. Peace. Peace. We out. JoRiginal.